Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We are Nicky and Kevin, and we are packing our trunks. And in March 2023, we moved into our camp. Oh. We're on a boat. And we feel a bit.
So excuse us feeling a bit green.
And we are a bit. So yeah, this is our video. We've just spent 2 months, just over 8 weeks in Ireland. And this is our video to tell you the best and worst and what we enjoyed.
Yeah.
So we have got notes. Got any notes?
Yeah, I've got my notes. Yeah. So it's basically a summary of just how we found Ireland and our.
Yes.
Yeah.
How we found it and what worked for us and what didn't, etc., etc. So we are going to refer to our notes. We will at the end of the video give you a complete breakdown of the costs and also how we found the services, etc. in Ireland.
So we've actually picked 10 categories, as we did in a previous video when we rounded up our 6 months in the UK. So I haven't got a clue what Kevin's put down as his favourite park up or least favourite park up or the best thing about Ireland. So here goes. So shall I go first with the category?
What's the first category?
Okay, so the first category is what was the best thing about van life in Ireland in autumn?
Me first?
Yeah, go on then.
So I've put the solitude. It was just so peaceful, quiet roads. So many of the places we slept, we were just on our own, to the point where if we were next to another van, we were a bit affronted by that. It was the solitude and the peace and the just waking up just us in the wild was brilliant. So that was the best thing about being in the autumn in Ireland for me.
Okay, and the best thing for me was we had the wild Atlantic way to ourselves, didn't we? And the further north we went, it became more quiet, and obviously the further into sort of late October and November it went, it was really, like you, it was really peaceful. Yeah. And also the other thing that I really enjoyed was a change in seasons and a change in counties. That was it was just beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and the sort of the low sun in the afternoons. Yeah, it was golden.
Yeah, it was.
So okay.
And the second category is actually what was the worst or least favourite thing about doing van life in autumn in Ireland?
Okay, so for me, I found at times we struggled a little bit because the campsites were shut. There was one time when we got really low on power and sort of had to backtrack on ourselves to get to an air. So that was kind of it was okay. It wasn't it wasn't a massive problem, but it was a little bit frustrating. Yeah. And the other thing was, which we knew about anyway, was a bit of a frustration with the bins.
Yeah.
And also when you did find a bin, sort of the little holes like that, and we felt really bad about sort of putting our rubbish in some of the bins.
True.
Although a couple of airs we stayed on, we did actually pay.
Rubbish,
so that was for me.
So I've got that sort of, because we're out of season, the lack of services open. I've got also the storms. We had 4 named storms, which were brutal, as you've seen in our videos, but. And lack of vegan snacks, although it saved us a fortune.
Yeah, it did.
So yeah, that was probably it for me.
So the next category is 3 of our favourite park ups. So shall I go first?
Yeah.
So I really struggled to narrow this down, because actually, barring one park up, I found them all incredible. Just wonderful. But I have to say, Broadstrand was, I think, my favourite, and that was very early on in the trip.
Me too.
Okay, Ardgroom Harbour.
Literally,
that was just incredible.
I can't believe this.
Okay.
We did 44 nights off grid, as Nicky will tell you later, and we've picked the same first and second.
Yeah, and I've got a couple more. One was Brandon Point.
Oh yeah, I haven't put that, but it was amazing.
And the next one was Coral Beach.
Coral Beach was beautiful.
Yeah,
I've got Coral Beach. I've got Coral Beach.
Okay.
So I again had Broadstrand and Ardgroom, just parking on the beach, and that parking at that little harbour was amazing.
Yeah.
They've all been amazing. I've also got the Forest Park up
Oh, yeah.
Just because of the intensity of finding it and the drive and not being able to turn around, but it was magical and dark, and the night sky there was amazing. Yeah, I'll go with that as my third.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Oh.
But then we've got our least favourite park up.
Oh, this won't take long. Go on.
Well, I've chosen one that was actually amazingly beautiful, but it was the only time on the entire trip where I had a real anxiety about us being safe. So that was at the lock on Achill Island. I've chosen, where we were in Storm Debbie, and it was genuinely concerned for our safety there. The storm was brutal. We were on the most western tip of Ireland, and the storm was arriving from the west. Are you?
So I did think about that one, but it was a beautiful park up, as you said. But yeah, it was a horrendous experience. But I actually had to say, I think the one for me was Bantry. So we stayed a beautiful hotel, absolutely beautiful. And they had a car park behind the hotel for motorhomes, camper vans, with services. Obviously no electric, just waste dump and water. But it was the most desolate looking car park.
It's on the back of this really posh hotel. And we went in and used the spa, didn't we?
And that was beautiful, but I think that was the least attractive.
Was grim.
Apart from the ducks. So the next category is what surprised us in a good way.
Shall I go?
Yeah, go on then.
So I guess it shouldn't have been a surprise, but the extent of the Irish welcome did surprise us, even though everybody had said it's the most welcoming place. Honestly, I've never been anywhere in the world, and we've been to a few places that has made us to. It's not an affection. Everybody is like it. It's everyone's pleased to see you. They want to know what you're doing and whether you're enjoying it, and they want you to enjoy it, and they want you to enjoy their country. I found the welcome to be mind-blowing.
That was exactly what I answered as well. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. You know, thank you to everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Ireland.
Yeah, to everybody we met. Yeah, we were made so welcome, and being in a camper van as well. Yeah. I felt there was just no hostility at all.
And interestingly, we literally got back to Devon and went to one of our favourite park ups and got sneered at, didn't we? By the way, we're allowed somewhere we're allowed to park.
Yeah, and we paid to park.
Literally sneered at, in the morning.
Twice.
There you go. So the next category is something that surprised us about going to Ireland in a not so good way.
So I ummed and ahed about putting this because it was a difficult one, but for me, what surprised me, and I shouldn't have been surprised really, because we had been to at the Armchair Festival, there was somebody who did a talk on private land. So it was the extent of the private land, and I think for me the lack of footpaths, public footpaths. So obviously in the UK we've got an abundance of footpaths. We've got the National Trust. I mean, the walks we did were incredible. The runs we did, the mountains we walked, the mountains we missed, there were plenty. But yeah, that was just that surprised me. A little bit restrictive, and a lot of ending up on the road as well.
I agree, but I actually put that how few public spaces allow dogs.
Yes.
I mean, Charlie, as you know, is in a retirement home now. Our dog, we've got a border terrier, Charlie, who now lives with our daughter. But the amount of signs just said no dogs, no dogs, no dogs. So if you're going hiking in Ireland, you do have to consider that if you're taking your dog, don't you?
Yeah.
So that was what I put. So number 7.
Number 7. The next category is your favourite hike, and we did plenty, didn't we?
Yeah, beautiful, particularly the mountainous walks.
So go on, you go first.
So I've gone for how to pick, but I'm just going to mention one, and that was Dursey Island. You go on a cable car, and because we're out of season and we went first thing in the morning, we were the only people on the cable car, the only people on the island. We walked a lap of the island. It was absolutely magical. It really was.
So I'm going that way.
Yeah, we really are rocking on this boat.
It was really hard. I think for me, it had to be Gougane Barra. I hope I pronounced that. It was the most beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
Yeah.
Incredible place to park.
Yeah, we had, first thing we had mist, so we were going up into the mountains sort of in the mist, and then the mist cleared and the views were incredible, and the church on the island when we came down.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it had to be.
It's a special day, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So category number 8 is our favourite park run. We did 7 park runs. We're there for 8 Saturdays, but we managed to get to 7 different park runs on Saturdays. So your favourite was?
It's got to be Glengarriff.
Glengarriff.
Yeah,
all day long.
We were made super welcome. We were made welcome at everyone, but that one just
was ridiculous. Yeah.
Didn't it? And it had. Yeah, we were actually parked, as you know.
Yeah.
We were parked on the park run route.
Yeah, we slept next to the start-finish line.
No, beautiful.
Every single person was beautifully friendly to us, and we'd still be there now chatting. It was beautiful. Yeah, so we agreed on that.
Okay.
And number 9?
Favourite experience.
Favourite experience.
Oh, and you know, we did quite a few different things. I think for me, it has to be the seaweed baths. Yeah. That was just, it was you as well. Yeah, that was just beautiful experience.
It is a beautiful experience. You get in a hot water in a half a whiskey barrel, sat on the shores of a loch. And then he tips the warm water with the slimy seaweed. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And it rained as well.
And it rained while we're in there. The guy that...
Brendan.
Brendan, if you ever watch this, thank you, man. Yeah, brilliant. What category is that?
That was number 9. And number 10 was, the most favourite drive of the trip.
Yeah, I found that hard. We've said on a few videos, it's not about, I love driving, by the way, and we love being in Nellie, and we love travelling in Nellie, but it's not about the driving for us. And yet on this trip, we started to really appreciate...
Yeah, we really enjoyed the drive. I mean, we enjoy a drive, of course.
We enjoy a road trip, but...
It sort of, the further north we went in the Wild Atlantic Way, the quieter it became, the more spectacular it became as well.
Yeah, it was incredible. What have you put?
So for me, I've actually put the first sort of incredible one was Kenmare to Killarney, across the mountain.
I know.
And then I've got Slayhead Drive.
That was mine, yeah.
The Killary Fjord. That was just mind-blowing. Didn't expect that at all, did we?
No.
That was just beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was sort of the further inland you were going in the fjord, the more beautiful it became. And then we went over the other side, drove over the other side.
It was even more beautiful.
And the other one was when we came down from Storm Debbie and we had a drive.
The Atlantic Road.
The Atlantic Road to Keene Beach.
Beautiful.
That was just,
Yeah, so I did go for Slayhead Drive. But a special mention here, before we even got to the Wild Atlantic Way, we drove a bit to the Copper Coast.
Yes.
You know, further up the island.
Yeah.
Wow, that was stunning, wasn't it? Yeah. And brilliant for van life as well again there.
Yeah.
So that's our 10 categories of what we thought about Ireland.
Yeah.
We haven't finished yet. Right, so before Nicky tells you how much we spent on our 2 months in Ireland, but just to cover a little bit, we did about 2,000 miles of driving in Ireland, and we averaged 31 miles to the gallon. Now, we think that's fine. The vans, we are rocking there, aren't we? The vans, we've pretty much got her always full, so we're really happy with that. And the van was brilliant. And the other thing is just services in Ireland. If you decide to travel to Ireland in a camper van, particularly out of season, be aware that most campsites and airs are closed, and they don't have masses of drive up service points. So you need to be, we said if we pass a tap, which is plentiful actually, there was no problem with water. Definitely if you pass a toilet. Also use green chemical in your toilet if you use a cassette toilet, because that increases your options for emptying it. If there is an air, go and ask. We found if you go and ask, garages are brilliant.
Yeah.
And loads and loads and loads of drive over jet washers, so your grey waste is not so much of a problem. So just be aware it can be challenges. We already spoke about bins. What else have I got?
LPG.
LPG, yeah. It seems Ireland's got quite a good network, but the further west you go, and certainly on the Wild Atlantic Way, we ended up having to backtrack a couple of times to get LPG, and because we were out of season, we were using more because we were using the heating more, and we spent, as Nicky will tell you, a huge percentage of the time off grid. So yeah, be aware of the challenges of services, but don't let it stop you, because it didn't stop us, did it? We once almost had no battery, and we once actually had no water, but that was our own fault, really.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
literally the camera is moving as the ship. I don't want to look at the horizon over there because it's going like that.
I just had to start again. So in summary, we spent 57 nights, which is 8 weeks and 1 day. We didn't go to any campsites. We've had 13 nights of paid airs, car parks or private land, and we did 44 nights of camping. Now for the 260 days that wild camping, sorry. Yeah, 44 nights of wild camping. So for the 260 days of our full-time living in Nellie, I've kept a diary. I used 9 categories, and every day I do a summary of our finances. So first category is campsites, meaning although we didn't use any campsites, but we used the paid airs, the private land and the car parks. That worked out at £151 for the 8 weeks, which is £18.54 for the week. Diesel, we spent £522.68, which works out at £64.18 per week. Entertainment was £340, and that worked out at £41.75 a week. So entertainment, we had the Hookhead Lighthouse, we had the ferry to the Aran Islands, we had the seaweed baths, Cliffs of Kerry, anything that we did that we had to pay for. Shopping, now this is a big one. We found Ireland very expensive. Also being vegan, that was slightly difficult as well. So things like when we were out sort of more away from sort of main towns, sort of the milk we used was sort of €4 a carton, wasn't it, or nearly €4 a carton
instead of 2. Yeah.
So yes, so shopping was expensive. Shopping worked out at a whopping £971.22, which is actually £119.27 a week. And I also like to say that we bought what we wanted to buy, didn't we? Because we weren't eating out that much, and we weren't having coffees out.
So we cooked the meals to be healthy and have the meals we wanted.
Yeah, we had what we wanted to have. Eating out, however, we did spend £213.60, because again, the meals that we did have out were expensive. So that worked out at £26.23 a week.
Half of that was for a burger in Dublin.
Yeah. So the next category is parking, ferries, tolls. That worked out at £57.25, so £7.03 per week. Miscellaneous is £180.38, which is £22.15 a week. So the miscellaneous was, we bought books, which are €40. We did the spa in Bantry, €20. Stamps, we spent a whopping £46. And we bought postcards for the children. We did the jet wash. We had a few toiletries, chemists we had to use. So that was quite an expensive one. Laundry, £119.89, which works out at £14.72 per week. LPG was £82.39, and that worked out at £10.58 per week. It's a grand total of £2,645.14. But when we actually worked it out to £46.40 per day for the two of us.
The two of us to be away in Ireland for 2 months.
Yeah, in autumn / winter. So I'm happy with that.
Very happy with that. What's the last question, Nicky?
So we're a bit more upright now. So the question is, would you recommend Ireland?
Go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you go back? That's the other question.
Yeah, and I think we will. But we have lots of plans.
Yes, we do.
But I think we will.
Ooh,
But
ooh.
and actually, forearmed with what we've learned, I think we'd go back, possibly go back and drive north around the coast of Northern Ireland and rejoin the Wild Atlantic Way and head south, something like that. But I'll go back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
beautiful country.
Yes.
So, next video will be our Q&A video, and then the video after that will be the start of our adventures as we leave the UK, which we are doing right now,
Yeah.
and head to Spain, and then, well, Morocco, and then we don't know, but we're going to be out of the UK for
6 months.
6 months,
Yeah,
probably, yeah.
yeah.
So thank you so much as ever for watching. Thank you for sharing our island adventures with us. The actual camera's moving. We if you like this video, give it a thumbs up.
Give us a like, and if you
Your camera's moving.
know.
Comments, we love comments. Subscribe, ring the notification bell, and then you'll get informed when the next video is out, our Q&A. And all we've got to say is thank you very much, and
Yes.
goodbye.
Bye.